Hi everyone, it's Mo here and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's video is the game week 8 wildcard. It's the topic of the week. Loads are wildcarding. I bet you are or one of your friends is. I certainly am. Why am I doing it? Well, my team is doomed. I've got a lot of players I want to get rid of. It's no point me taking a -8 while I still have a wildcard. So I've decided to activate it. You let me know your reasons why you're activating it in the comments. I'd really appreciate that. Also, before we get into the video, I would really love it if you would like the video, subscribe. This week I've got loads of good videos coming out, so I'd really appreciate if you subscribe, add the notifications, and you'll know whenever a video's out. On that note, let's get into it. First up in the wild card is the goalkeepers. And guess what? I've gone for two cheap goalkeepers. I've looked around this season. The premiums are not performing. You're not getting your value, your money's worth when you spend the big bucks on, say, Edison and Allison. Yes, they will keep more clean sheets than the others. But guess what? It's not really worth it. When you look at the difference in points is for the amount you're paying, you could use that money elsewhere to get you better players, say, in midfield or up front. I've gone for Areola, who's been outstanding at 4.2 million, a bargain, but an exceptional goalkeeper, playing for a team who are playing really well this season. West Ham have had an excellent start to the season. Fixtures are going to get better. I'm more than comfortable to play him in every game. But if there is a game I need to rotate, I've got the backup, Matt Turner. A lot of us already own him as the cheap substitute goalkeeper. Yes, he has been a bit shaky this season. I agree with that. But as long as he keeps his place, he's a decent deputy for our FPL teams. And if there is a game where I think Areola shouldn't play, I'm more than comfortable playing Matt Turner. So that's my goalkeepers. Not too much money, but hopefully some points. Next up is the defenders. And guess what? Again, I've tried to save money here. Not many premiums, but the first one I'm going to tell you about is quite expensive, and that's Kieran Trippier. But he's worth every penny. If you've owned him the last 3 game weeks, you are smiling and laughing. He's been ridiculous and returned huge amounts of points. I bought him in last week, already gave me an assist and a clean sheet. I mean, you can't go wrong with him. Newcastle's defense has been excellent. Even with the difficult start to the season, you could look at the underlying numbers, you could look at just via the eye test and see they defend doggedly, a very difficult team to play against. They're becoming a team you don't want to play, basically, and that's a good sign. That's a really good sign. I compared them the other day to almost defending like Atletico, and that's a compliment. He's got the assists as well. Once in a while, maybe a free kick goal, but the assists will be a bit more frequent when you compare it to other defenders. Maybe only Trent will be able to, when he's fit, will be able to challenge him for that within the Premier League. So for me, Kieran Trippier, regardless of the price, I think he's ahead. He's better to own than Botman, Shaw, or Burn. But if you are on a budget, them defenders are good. But for me, Kieran Trippier is the first defender in the team. Next up is Matty Cash. Again, very attacking, but very cheap. So this one's a win-win. I watched him play against Brighton this weekend. They destroyed them. He was very, very good. He got an assist. He got a clean sheet. I mean, overall, Aston Villa have had a great start to the season. Unai Emery's got them playing beautiful football. Add that the fixtures are changing, in theory, improving, getting better. So you'd like to think a couple more clean sheets for Matty and potential assist returns. So for me, at that price, I think he's gone up to 4.9. Doesn't matter. You get him into your team. Next up for me is the Spurs Udegi. Again, another player who's had a great start to the season, playing a unique role where, not unique as in just inverting, but the way he tucks in the middle, but still gets the license once in a while. Depending on the phase of play, he can get into the box and support the attackers. At that price, I'd like to think clean sheets again. Spurs fixtures are going to go, they're changing into nice fixtures. So again, we're going to expect some cleans, hopefully some assists. Maybe I don't see him getting as many assist returns as Matty Cash and Trippier, of course, but still, for that price, I'm looking at him as one of the better options in my team. Fourth up is going to be a controversial one. You might not agree with this one, and that is Gabriel. Now, I looked around, you might get another, say you could have doubled up instead of Gabriel, you could have doubled up with, say, Dini for Aston Villa. Two very attacking fullbacks where we know Gabriel's a centre-back. Realistically, you're either hoping for a clean or a header from a set piece, which is realistic with him. But I also looked at it as that Arsenal still a second best team in the Premier League. I watched them this weekend. They got a clean sheet. They look very, very solid. Even with the injuries, yes, I know they played a fixture, which is in theory an easy fixture for them. But regardless of that, with the other defenders I've got, I can rotate him with them. because my formation, more than likely, I'll be playing just 3 defenders. So I can rotate him for the fixtures which I think are easy and Arsenal will keep a clean sheet, and use one of the other ones on the bench. So for that reason alone, I'm more than comfortable owning Gabriel. And fifth and final pick is going to be Kabore. Yes, good old Kabore, the Luton Town fullback. We're more than happy to own him. Very cheap. He's playing the minutes. Even got a return the other week. Sits fifth on my defenders list there. A really good backup bench fodder. But when I do need him, and it's possible the way the season's gone, he's there ready to come on for my 1 or 2 pointer. So that's the defense. Let's go into midfield. Right, midfield. This is the exciting part. This is where we want to spend our money. And I'm going to start with Son. I don't even need to mention his price because guess what? You should just bring him in. When Son plays up front in such an excellent attacking Tottenham team, it's a no-brainer. The only question mark around Son at the moment is the minutes. He's been coming off regularly around 75 to 80, clearly carrying a knock, which we need to keep an eye on, especially with the international break, and hope that it doesn't worsen. But apart from that, there's not much to say apart from he has to be in your team. That's it. Simple. Second option is his teammate, James Maddison, playing football of his life, playing with a smile on his face. And he's one of the reasons this Spurs team has perked up so much. He's such a good player. We've all known this, even when he was at Leicester. And now he's gone up another level. He's playing with better players at the moment. And I just think with Son up front, Maddison feeding him, it's a match made in heaven. Honestly, is Son's clever runs and Maddison's brain and technical ability to be able to pick him up. I'm more than comfortable doubling up on the Spurs midfield. And then let's add, the fixtures look real good. Now, I mean, that's the main reason. Apart from all them excellent attributes I just told you about, the fixtures are just really good. So guess what? Get him in your team as well. Partner him up with Son and forget about it. Third up, maybe a bit more controversial, and is Saka. It shouldn't be controversial as in the quality of the player, but they've got a couple of difficult fixtures coming up. For example, the next fixture is Manchester City. But I can't get away from, he's almost like a safety blanket that he just returns every game. And this is without even taking the penalties. He's been very charitable and offering them out to anyone in his team who needs a goal, which is an incredible, tells you the type of man he is, that he's not cares about just individual accolades. He wants his team to win and give confidence to players like Kai Havertz. So from that perspective, you thought you couldn't love Saka anymore. Well, you can. He's just an unbelievable player and person. But from my perspective, I just think that Arsenal are still the second best team in the league. They're going to score, they mostly score the most amount of goals in the Prem. Maybe Liverpool will challenge them for that. But he's I won't say no-brainer, but for me, in my team, I really like the look of him. I'm really happy with it. It's definitely a position where, say, this week, I could start with Bowen if I thought he would outscore him this game week and then leave the money in the bank so I can go back to Saka. Just say that's something I'm playing around with my head. But while recording this video, I kept him in. He's got that safety blanket. Saka he's just returning. Look at him. Fourth up is Diaby, Moussa Diaby. And the reason he's in there, similar to what I said to you earlier on about Matty Cash. I was waxing lyrical about Unai Emery and this Aston Villa team. Well, guess what? It's the same. And let's add more to it. He's playing OOP at the moment because he's playing up front right near Watkins. Yes, at times, depending on the tactics or the opponents, he will have to take up more deeper positions. But when you look at him and look at the touches and the runs he makes, he should have got a lot more goals against Brighton. It's only some wayward finishing that the owners were very unfortunate. But going forward, he came off of a knock. Since then, I've read to say that it's nothing too bad and they think he's fine for the next fixture. Going forward, at that price, playing this Villa team with these fixtures, I think he has to make up that spot. He's got to take it. And fifth midfielder for me is a very cheap bench fodder, and it's James McAtee. The reason I've gone for him, it's money. I'm scraping and saving money. It's as simple as that. And I'm hoping I don't need him to come off my bench. That's the honest truth. He would be my loss. It'd be even behind Kabore on my bench. So if he's coming on, then you know I'm in bad trouble. So that's my midfield. Let me know what you think. Of course, no Mohamed Salah. I could not fit him in. I mean, who would have thought you'd wildcard and not have Mohamed Salah? But that is the gamble. And you'll see why I don't have Mohamed Salah when we look at my strike force. Now, up front, the first pick, Ollie Watkins. Yes, I know I've missed the haul. I know. I watched that game live. He was excellent and deserved all his goals and assists. He's had a great start to the season. Been unfortunate with the FPL returns for anyone that's owned him since game week 1. But if you've owned him all the way through, you deserve them points. I'm only jumping on now. That was always my plan. So I was actually gutted he got that big haul because I didn't want too many people to jump on. But it is what it is. That's not going to stop me. I am bringing him in for all the reasons I spoke about, DRB and Matty Cash. Basically, Watkins plays in this attacking, gorgeous Villa team with excellent fixtures, no rotation headache. It's easy. It's an easy pick. All right. Second spot, again, for me, I still think it's an easy pick, although quite a bit of people are debating this, and that is the Terminator himself, Haaland. Now, I've not even considered going without him. It's too scary. Maybe I'm remembering last season that trying to go against him with captaincy destroyed me. He just returned in games, especially games where you thought, oh, it might be trickier, and he was just smashing a hat trick. He is that type of player, still plays for the best team who I think are going to win the Premier League. The most amount of goals are going to be scored by Manchester City, and he will more than likely take the Golden Boot. I mean, you put that all together, and it makes me think, why am I taking him out? Yes, loads are doing it because they want to fit, like, say you could have had Alvarez, Nunes, and Salah as well. So I can see why. I know why people are doing it. You have to be a very brave FPL manager. I don't have that in me at the moment. Haaland is going to keep the position. He's going to be alongside Ollie Watkins. And third up, it's a bit of an exciting pick, and that is Darwin Núñez. Now, I've been itching to pick him up for a little while, but it's a combination of staying fit and rotation is throwing me off. But in the last couple of weeks, I've noticed that he's the main number 9. It looks like to me Klopp gave him it's his shirt to lose, basically. But then I saw the Spurs team sheet, which really threw me off. But then I read that was due to a knock on his knee. So he was fine. He was going to start. And you know that game would have been perfect for him. Now, the upcoming fixtures for Liverpool look amazing. And there's no way on earth you could go in with no Liverpool. Not for me. Even though I know they're not fully flowing. There's a new team built being by Klopp. But the chance ratio when Darwin Núñez is on the pitch is incredible. We all make jokes and laugh about his XG. I know that don't mean much if you're not putting the ball in the net, but I do believe this season he's come on, he's gone onto another level. Okay, you could just tell by his confidence, his aura. I think Klopp said a couple of bits about him in the press conferences that tells you, he said that he's ready. And then just the other day, I even tweeted about it regarding his pressing. I think he had the most presses in the final third of any Premier League player, and that was always going to be the way into this team. Klopp would never allow you to be just a passenger when you don't have the ball. So now he's doing that, combined with his attacking threat going forward. I really like this pick. I think it's an exciting pick. Of course, a bit risky. You could go for an Alvarez and be safe, or go for a cheap Archer and use that money maybe to bring Salah in the midfield. You know, there's other options. But that's my attack. Let me know what you think. That's my wildcard team. What do you think? Of course, this is my draft at the moment. I could tweak it here and there, but I'm more than comfortable with this. I think I can attack the upcoming game weeks with this. I'm ready to go. But you need to let me know what you think of this wild card. No chance. I'm crazy going about Salah. I should bin Haaland. I mean, let me know. But also, while you're doing that, do me a favor. Like the video. Please subscribe. Share it with your friends. We all love FPL. We all love talking FPL. I'd love it to get to my next milestone with subscribers. I'm currently on 110. I'd love to reach that 200. So do me a favor. Subscribe and pass this video on to one of your friends. On that note, I'm going to wish you good luck. I've got loads of videos coming this week, so check them out. All right. Bye-bye.